In the meantime, let's find a replacement.
You know, the Ruby Rose quitting slash being fired from Batwoman really was a gift for the news part of my channel, the entertainment news, because with everything basically shut down in Hollywood, there's not a lot to talk about. Now, obviously, I like to have fun at the expense of Batwoman, but last night I spoke with someone who worked on the show and shared some information with me that I'm going to share with you, because it's interesting how kind of the smears of Ruby Rose are getting leaked out there, and she's not really said anything, but the industry keeps speculating as to reasons. There were stories put out that she was difficult to work with and that she hated the show. Who knows what really is happening, but here's all the latest, and then I'm going to talk about what they told me because they worked on several of the CW shows. You see a lot of these top tweets going back saying, Ruby Rose left Batwoman because she didn't want to spend 8 years of her life working super long days playing the same lead character she would be contractually obligated to without ever really having room time to experiment and grow. I mean, I don't know if I believe that. I mean, she knew what she was signing up for, right? But now there's tension on the set. There's all sorts of stories. The real reason why Ruby Rose left. Here, let's take a look at what this are. Due to tension over long hours. The reason behind Ruby Rose's surprising departure from the Batwoman CW series has reportedly been revealed. On Wednesday, May 20th, Rose announced she had quit the series to surprise of the show's fans. This wasn't a decision I made lightly, and I had the utmost respect for the cast, crew, and everyone else involved. Multiple sources have now told Variety that there was tension on set because Rose was unhappy with the long hours required of her. As a result, Rose, the CW, and Warner Brothers Television mutually agreed to part ways. Previously, it was speculated that Rose's exit had something to do with the emergency surgery Rose underwent for 2 herniated discs, but one source told Variety that Rose's decision had nothing to do with health or injury. Last year, Rose opened up about mental health issues. She captioned on Instagram photo, I've struggled with mental health my entire life, before speaking about her struggles with misdiagnosis and PTSD. Announcing her decision to leave the show, Rose said, I have made the very difficult decision to not return to Batwoman next season. I am beyond appreciative to Greg Berlanti, Sarah Schrechter, and Caroline Dries for not only giving me this incredible opportunity, but welcoming me into the DC universe they have so beautifully created.
What's that supposed to mean?
Look, I said whatever I had to say, all right? I wasn't right for the job. I just needed some fool to replace me, and you fit the bill.
Now, still, representatives for Rose, Warner Brothers, and the CW have declined to comment. So was this really it? Because, interestingly enough, I have to hide my screen right now because this writer, they have an NDA, so they can't be revealed. So they said, hey, you might have received information from other people about Batwoman, but I figured I'd reach out to you to give you a little information about Batwoman as a production from somebody who worked on the show. If you use this info, please don't include my name or contact info, blah, blah, blah. Fair enough. Always protect my sources, which is why I still get good ones. You had a good idea of the writer's room in one of your videos, but based on the writers that I had met on set, I would say that they are disproportionately the SJW types. Mostly of the LGBT community, and the men who were more experienced would just write to what the showrunner wanted, which was more of an LGBTQ plus stuff. That's fine. We all knew that. That's fine. If that's the angle they want to run. They also preferred to have female directors. It's really the age-old problem that I would come back to with the industry about women to make up the majority of the roles on certain productions instead of hiring the best person for the job. And trust me, that has been happening a lot here. Ha ha ha. And then he, well, I guess I don't know if it's a dude. They referred to my comment about how the lighting on the set, how the show was so dark. As for how dark it was, I just had to laugh because being someone who knows the director and having worked with the person on the 100 for several years on and off, he is very experienced and amazing in his job, which was hindered, of course, by the production decision with making every scene dark and dreary. he would have lit it great and exposed it properly. And what seems to have been my perspective is probably bad color correcting. At least they were also able to sprinkle in some creative camera movements here and there. While the show is disappointing, it did bring many jobs to Vancouver. And although I won't be glad to see it go, I'm not surprised about them recasting Batwoman. I hope they cancel it. And then they go on to tell me some other things that are just probably too specific for me to reveal, as I don't want to get them in any kind of trouble. So, ultimately, who will the new Batwoman be? Well, a lot of people are already speculating. And, interestingly, here we have this Variety article that says, why Batwoman star Ruby Rose left the CW series. It stemmed from an ill fit between star and production. According to multiple sources, Rose was unhappy with the long hours required of her as the series lead, which led to friction on the set. It was thus decided by her and the network and studio, Warner Brothers Television, that they would part ways. Reps for Rose, Warner Brothers, and the CW declined to comment. Rose's time on Batwoman marked the first TV starring role of her career. She previously appeared on Netflix's Orange is the New Black and appeared in supporting roles in several films to date. Given the sudden nature of it, speculation has been rampant. As reason for Rose's exit from the series, it was speculated it had something to do with pain associated with an emergency surgery Rose underwent for 2 herniated discs. But a source familiar with the situation tells Variety that Rose's decision had nothing to do with that. Rose had also been open about her mental health issues in the past. Back in October, where she had attempts at self-deletion, Batwoman had just been renewed.
What doesn't kill me just makes me stronger.
Here's what I think Occam's razor, or is it Hanlon's razor, would say? Occam's razor? I don't know. One of those two. I get them mixed up. What's likely is she didn't like working all the time, and she realized maybe she had bitten off more than she could chew, and that it turned her into a bit of a jerk on set. I can understand that. We've all worked with somebody who hated their job. We've all worked with somebody that wanted to quit, and they make life miserable for everyone else around them. So I'm guessing that this was probably one of those things where we're going to see more and more stories about on-set breakdowns and on-set meltdowns, and they probably just came together and said, look, we got to end this. We can't go down this road. And they just parted ways. That's probably the most likely scenario. Now, I do think it's interesting that some people are responding to the idea that they are dead set on hiring somebody who's LGBTQ to play the role. I would point to, it's an interesting conundrum because people who are gay play straight people on TV all the time. Barney Stinson, famously, on How I Met Your Mother. The characters from Modern Family. So gay characters play straight characters all the time, but they have this requirement that Batwoman be played by a gay character. It seems like a weird double standard, and because it is. A new season, Batwoman casting Ruby Rose's Arrowverse replacement. I actually think this girl from Brooklyn Nine-Nine could be awesome. Rosa? I don't know her real name. I'm sure it said, but with Ruby Rose stepping down, someone will be donning the cape in Batwoman Season 2. Here's a look at the best casting options left to fill the wider Arrowverse. The modern comic book incarnation of Kate Kane debuted in 2006. Kate was inspired to take up by her cousin's Batman mantle after he left Gotham following the Infinite Crisis storyline. Now played by Ruby Rose, the character quickly received her own standalone show, premiering in October 2019. Batwoman debuted to solid numbers and ultimately was renewed for a second season. Yeah, but it finished with a whimper. I'm not sure that a lot of characters are going to be jumping back on the Batwoman stage to give the show a second chance, although this could be a good thing. It could actually renew interest in it in Season 2 and give them a temporary boost again. But it'll still be the same old show and the same old writers. So we've got Ashley Platts. Platts is a far from household name, having only enjoyed small roles in shows like Grey's Anatomy and Glow. However, the former high school athlete is a current yoga teacher. Platts has necessary physicality for the role of Batwoman. Equally, she identifies as pansexual and such. She is more a fit. So it's so weird. Imagine this as your only hiring requirement. This feels discriminatory. I mean, it probably feels that way because it is, right?
All right, then we just need a black person who can sacrifice himself in case something goes wrong. Let's see, anyone will do. Anyone who meets the qualifications. Oh, I know. How about...
Yeah, I get it. Fine.
I mean, what if straight people were like, we can't have gay people playing our roles? That's ridiculous. And then you've got Stephanie Beatrice, which, by the way, I love her on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We're the bankers, and she's kind of got that BA attitude. She actually probably would be a really good fit if she wanted to do it. Beatrice should be the chief among them, playing Rosa Diaz in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She has emerged as an openly bi icon, both on and off screen. As a result, many fans would be welcoming of her taking on a similar landmark role as Kate Kane. Equally, as Rosa, Beatrice has repeatedly proven her chops at playing a fierce warrior type that isn't averse to busting out the odd quip or witticism. Her years on Brooklyn Nine-Nine also demonstrating that, unlike Rose, she can cope with the kind of hectic schedule required for TV production. Not only that, but it has done little to hinder Beatrice also working other projects when possible. She's hard to miss out on, though she had to miss out on playing the MCU's She-Hulk. The role of Batwoman could be a fitting substitute if possible to achieve. Beatrice herself has teased she'd be open to playing Batwoman, and fans would no doubt support the campaign. Then you've got Kate McKinnon, of course, on here from Saturday Night Live. Brianna Vescus, Jacqueline. I don't like any of these. I like maybe the WWE actress. That would be cringe. I think the one you've got to go to here is Stephanie Beatriz. That's my opinion. Nonetheless, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. They're probably going to want to announce somebody as soon as possible to get the hype train going back up for season 2, or maybe they'll hold off for closer to 2021 to keep things going. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting media cycle to follow. The smears on Ruby Rose appear to be continuing. It looks like she just hated the show, hated working on it, and everyone knew it. Good old disgruntled employee. Can't blame her. Show stunk. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.